We have nearly 20 coaches here with us in the conference centre in Warwick. We're about 400 metres from the athletes' village. It's great to introduce them to Commonwealth Games. It's a very varied group representing many sports. Most of them are Commonwealth sports, but we also have others from outside of that network. So it's a great opportunity to partner with Sport NI to look at the next generation of coaching staff and also admin staff. So it's really focusing on high performance, and our specific interest is the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Victoria, Australia. So hopefully some of these coaches will be part of that team, and others will just feed back into their sports, potentially for sports that aren't involved in the Commonwealth programme but will contribute to sport in Northern Ireland. So it's really around the partnership, Sport NI, ourselves as Commonwealth Games Northern Ireland, the governing bodies, and focusing on coaches, because we know that coaches impact athletes immensely. So if we get quality coaches who understand the high performance network, who understand where the standards are in international sport, we believe that will give us an opportunity to greater success in the future.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect sports to start thinking about their athletes in 4 years' time and how they might support them. So it's really good that this programme has provided sports with an opportunity to think about coaches and support personnel at this stage, 4 years out. And the next 4 days gives us a really good chance for those guys to start working together in partnership with ourselves and Commonwealth Games Northern Ireland, and start getting an idea of potentially some of the standards that they might aspire to through the likes of the Global Coaches House and some of the information that will be coming out of that, and also attending some of the events, which will give them a really clear understanding of what a multi-sport games looks like. So it's going to be really exciting. It seems like a really good group of people, and we're really looking forward to getting things kicked off.
So Global Coaches House is an initiative of the ICC, the International Council for Coaching Excellence. It's been running since the London Olympics in 2012. We went to Glasgow in 2014, we went to Rio in 2016, we went to Gold Coast in 2018. We couldn't go to Tokyo, obviously, but we're here in Birmingham for 2022. And the whole point of Global Coaches House is to create a space for coaches to collaborate and to meet people like themselves during the games, to also have an opportunity to listen to coaches that are coaching at the games, coaches that have coached or are still coaching at the high performance level, and to really make the most of the opportunity of combining the games with a learning opportunity, listening to other coaches.
So we're on to the final day of the Commonwealth Futures programme here in Birmingham, the final day of phase one, certainly not the final day of the programme. I think the coaches this week have got a lot out of the games experiences, which have been organised by Commonwealth Games. That's really given them a really good experience of what it would be like if you were coaching in this environment, the logistics, how you keep your athletes focused in that environment, and actually even as a coach, it could be quite fatiguing over this 4 days for them. So what would that be like if you were coaching in the games? How would you look after yourself to keep yourself fresh and in the top state that you could be in to be really effective with the athletes that you're working with, should they be in a games coaching role in the future? So this is really only the start of the programme. It's the end of phase one, but as we move into phase two, it's really going to become about the workshop programme led by Commonwealth Games Northern Ireland, and then Sport Northern Ireland's input through one-to-one support with coaches and bespoke coach learning opportunities, which will hopefully help them develop further in their own coaching careers and their own coaching journey, and hopefully we'll see some of these coaches in future Commonwealth Games in years to come.
It's been a busy week, but it's been an absolutely fantastic week, just from the coaching workshops to experience in the village to being at all the different events, being able to see the different events, and just talking to other coaches, getting tips and ideas, and just inspirational coaches telling us about their journey, and getting ideas from them and what we can do to help our environment and help our athletes improve, and really focusing on getting the best out of your athletes, whether it's a learning environment or the relationships that you're building with them, and just being able to talk to other people in other sports within Northern Ireland. It's about networking, it's about getting to know what they've been doing successfully, what issues they are coming up against. So it's just been fantastic to experience it all. We're learning as coaches, but we're also experiencing the games and looking and seeing the athletes perform, and just overall having a fantastic opportunity to develop your own ideas and to hopefully bring back some of those ideas and put them into practice to help the Northern Ireland athletes of the future. I think the highlights were actually just listening to some of the stories, you know, of the coaches and the different approaches, and that one size doesn't fit all, and that, you know, there's no right or there's no wrong. And not being really, you know, if you feel it's okay, and sort of what I've taken away from this is sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves for the outcome, and it's more to do with the journey, and it doesn't always have to be successful. And I know we always, you know, it's very cliche that you learn from your failures, but sometimes Northern Ireland being a small area, it's not easy to feel with other, you know, people there and watching, and you're kind of thinking that's okay, and, you know, to take out of that what you can, and just not to be persistent as a coach, because we allow our athletes to be persistent. So why is it not okay to give our coaches time to be persistent and try new things, and maybe not be afraid of doing something different, doing something that hasn't been done before? Because, you know, if you believe in yourself and if you've got a good team and you've got a good relationship, you know, that's the main thing. It's just the journey, and just to keep going and try things that maybe haven't been tried before. So I think overall it's been fantastic, but just that to give you the motivation and the, you know, the idea that just to maybe try a different approach, or there's different ways, and not all fits, not all one size fits everybody.
The experience has been fantastic, you know, really working or being alongside people from other sports. We're listening to experts on coaching and how they've developed teams and squads and their experience. But really for me, the talking and sharing, you know, knowledge from other sports and other coaches or potential coaches. Myself, really, I was at the games in 2018 and still playing, but looking to transition into the coaching, the high performance side of it. So for me, it's been fantastic to listen how other sports do it, and people, you know, deal with their athletes. And for me, what I'm looking to get out of it is how to prepare for major events, you know, down the line and further afield, i.e. the Southern Hemisphere, because it's so different to preparing up here. And from my experience, where I seen things that maybe we struggled a wee bit with when we were there, that the next time we go we could put right and prepare athletes better for it. So that's been fantastic. I think in the longer term, what I see coming out of it is, you know, we'll all go away for a month or 2 months, and we'll come back and we'll meet and we'll talk about what we've learned and how we've tried to put it into place, or if we fall short, what we can learn from the other people on the course, and obviously the people from the institute and from Sport NI who have been there and give us that wee bit of expertise that fills that gap. So I think I'm really looking forward to that, you know, and taking stuff away and trying it. I have a youth team to look after in Scotland in August, so I mean I have a few ideas of what I want to do, but that will not all be successful. So when I come back from that, I'll have ideas in my head where maybe didn't go as well as it could, and come and ask and maybe learn how I can do it better. So I'm looking forward to that type of thing.
We have spent some time getting to know each other, get to know the Sport NI staff that are here with us, some of the Commonwealth Northern Ireland team, some of whom have been in really supportive roles with us previous to this visit. And then we've gotten a chance to come here to the Global Coaches House, where we're getting to kind of hear and share expertise with coaches across different performance levels, different sports, different countries, which has been really interesting. And then we've also gotten a chance to go into the venues. We've toured the Athletes Village and kind of seen some of the logistical issues around that, the things that we might be working towards and that we've got to consider. But it also has been kind of a motivating factor, getting to see the setup, see what we're actually working towards. Personally, this has been an incredible opportunity, and I'm excited that it is the start of something, because you can get kind of insular and think that the issues that you face in your sport, the kind of barriers to performance or the difficulties in planning to try to raise the standards of your sport are something unique to you. But in meeting other people from different governing bodies, different sports, athletes as well as coaches from Northern Ireland, I'm starting to see the potential to develop some really helpful relationships and friendships, critical friendships, as well as people who can provide some practical support, sharing lessons, sharing learning, sharing different principles in how they've implemented their programs that are transferable between sports. To have the investment in us as coaches, I do think it's something that I feel really privileged to have, because it hasn't been my day job. It's been something that has kind of run alongside my main world for most of my life. And the more I dig in on the coaching side, the more excited I get about the potential for what can be. And I know already from Conal, from Alison, and the other Commonwealth people, and even just in the short time with you guys, I can really see that the support is there to help us make something new and make something to raise our standards and go somewhere we didn't think was possible.